Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Simon Hathaway, Spurlock, thank you so much. You knock it out of the park every time, HA. I always look forward to the live streams and segments. Stay positive, ignore the negativity, and keep that brilliant sense of humor of yours going. Simon Hathaway, Spurlock, thank you so very, very much for the kind words. They mean a great deal to me. And just for your support every live stream. So thank you very much, Simon Hathaway, Spurlock. Thank you again for the kind words. It means a lot to me, and it's just awesome. The viewers I have, Simon, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, the two best moderators in all of YouTube. Thank you very, very much. We have a fantastic, fantastic show this afternoon. Trump is increasing his lead in swing states, according to Trafalgar. And if you look at other polling sites, even RCP, you can see that in swing states, national averages are completely irrelevant. They don't mean anything. It doesn't matter if 5 million or 6 million or 7 million or 8 million or 9 million or 10 million people vote, or 10 million people in California give Clinton, because Clinton will eventually usurp Biden. I can't even fathom them going with Biden. But let's just, for people watching who just want to hear the word Biden, I can't fathom this man being anywhere close to President Trump on Election Day, because he's already doing worse among Black and Latino voters than Clinton was, and Clinton lost, and President Trump is doing better. Ice Cube is now advising President Trump, and the Biden campaign so he basically informed both campaigns. Ice Cube informed both campaigns and said, look, I'll help advise you on policies that I find important for the African American and Black communities around the country. And the Biden campaign said, well, we'll talk to you after. Well, Karen Hart, hello. Karen, thank you. We'll talk to you after the election. Okay? They wanted no part of speaking to Ice Cube. The Trump campaign, Ice Cube stated, completely just, changed up their schedule, made sure that they would speak to him, and now he has been advising President Trump on one of the programs. So Simon Hathaway, Spurlock, thank you so very much. One of the programs aimed at helping African American communities throughout the country. Trump unveils Platinum Plan for Black Americans. Then you have Fox News. Ice Cube defends working with Trump campaign on Platinum Plan. The Hill. Trump advisors claim Ice Cube working with administration on Plan for Black America. This is in addition to opportunity zones, and this is in addition to allocating more funding to historically Black colleges and universities than any president ever, and making the funding permanent. Historically Black college HBCUs are very, very important. And only President Trump's administration has made historically Black colleges and universities a priority. So Simon Hathaway, Spurlock, thank you so very, very much. But let's just go really quickly. You can look at the Trafalgar. Trump is edging closer in Wisconsin. If you look, though, let's see. He's up in Michigan even more so than he was before. I mean, it's still, he's increased his lead by 0.2 percentage points, according to Robert C. Cahaley. But it's 46.5, or no. compared to the prior Michigan polls, I think it's around 0.2% he's increased. But Trump in Michigan, 46.5%. No, actually more than that, almost a point. 46.5% in Michigan, 45.9% in Michigan, according to Robert C. Cahaly and the Trafalgar Group. Michigan, President Trump has an excellent chance of winning Michigan, an excellent chance of winning Minnesota, actually, an excellent chance of winning Wisconsin. And Pennsylvania, I'm already giving up on Pennsylvania. He's doing quite well in Pennsylvania. Trump is doing well in Pennsylvania, okay? Trump's doing very well in Pennsylvania, okay? But I'm not... And so Florida and Ohio, which is like what I talked about, he's actually increasing his lead. So I'm not even worried about Florida and Ohio. 48.4% Trump, Florida, 46.1% Biden. Biden's going to get creamed if they actually go with him. That's why I'm telling you, I cannot imagine. I think that my prediction stands that Clinton's going to replace Biden. But they're done as a political party. You have to understand something. They're done as a... Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, tell your friends about this channel. Please tell your friends about H.A. Goodman and H.A. Goodman's other channel. I do live streams primarily, and I do an upload in the evening. But if you do primarily live streams, your channel really doesn't grow in the algorithm. So I'm stuck at 150,000 subs. So if you could tell your friends and family, I had some wonderful viewers yesterday saying, we tell our friends, we tell our family, we tell everyone about your channel. That would be fantastic. That's like amazing if you could do that. But you're not going to win. That's about 50 electoral college votes. 50 electoral college votes, Ohio and Florida. Okay? 50 electoral college votes. You know, in years past, nobody, like, if you couldn't, okay, you had to win either Ohio or Florida. You couldn't go into the election or election day. You couldn't go into election day saying, you couldn't go into election day saying we don't have Florida or Ohio. That's not a good recipe to win, because then your margin for error is non-existent. Okay, Democrats must win the entire Rust Belt. They're not going to win the entire Rust Belt. They lose Michigan, they're done. They lose Wisconsin, they're done. They lose Minnesota, they're done. They lose Pennsylvania, they're done. They have to sweep. That means you need tremendous support. You need tremendous enthusiasm. You ain't going to get that. Especially not with Botox B, the exhumed body. Clinton, yes, you would get a little bit of that. You cannot go into... Just go to 270 to win, everybody. Okay? And with the New York Post article that they're trying to suppress, I mean, it's kind of hilarious. Like, they're like, well, you know, it's true that, okay, we don't even really know if these emails are accurate. Yes, you do know. You do know, because they haven't stated the emails are not accurate. Okay, number one. Number two, they say, well, you know, he's trying to paint a link between, they're trying to, you know, Republicans have latched onto this. This is when they get caught in the act, they always say Republicans have latched onto this. Yeah, because it's a basic logic. It's something that Democrats would have latched onto and devoted their lives to. It's basic logic. You have emails showing that the vice president's son was brokering meetings with the vice president after he is on record as saying, well, this prosecutor has to go. And the prosecutor was going to look into the company that his son was on the board member of. This is a conflict of interest. This is and now you have proof that the son was brokering meetings. Now you have proof that the suspicion that President Trump had from day one was warranted. Now you have you have more evidence of wrongdoing on the side of Democrats than you ever did on Trump, and they still don't, they still can't, the Washington Post, I was reading an article, they're so utterly delusional. They're like, well, he was, a lot of people, it was the embassy in Kiev decided on a plan to force out the prosecutor. That's not how foreign policy is. First of all, that's not how anyone's foreign policy. That's not how American foreign policy is crafted. American foreign policy is decided by the State Department, the President, the Pentagon. Nobody gave Botox B the authority to fire anyone. Furthermore, that's not how any country engages in foreign policy. You have to fire that prosecutor? Are you kidding me? Then they say, well, a lot of people didn't like him. Well, guess what? A lot of people liked him. I mean, if you're media, you focus on, and then they say, well, we found 2 people working with Biden who said that he never met with this businessman. You think what are they going to say? You think, the Washington Post is going to interview people who will say that Biden did meet with the businessman? And then they find 2 people. Well, that meeting never happened. Why should we trust a person working for Biden? They never trusted anyone around President Trump saying, no, he never worked with Russia. What are you talking about? Which he never did. But Botox B and his son were brokering meetings, making people think that they could have access and then get their foreign policy goals. See, other people have interests. See, when people contact the son of the former vice president, and when people 85 donors funnel $156 million into a foundation, they want their own interests taken care of. That's why people give millions of dollars. That's why you give millions of dollars into an organization. You don't give millions of dollars into an organization. You don't give millions of dollars into an organization because you don't give millions of dollars into an organization because you just decide well, I'm just altruistic. So, it's not, look, you can't, it's impossible. It is absolutely impossible to get Democrats to actually admit that there should be suspicion pertaining to their corruption. It's impossible. They literally presided over a uranium sale to a company now owned by Putin. This is a fact. President Obama's administration presided over a uranium deal where President Obama's administration presided over a uranium deal where 20% of U.S. uranium capacity was allowed, where a sale was allowed to take place that involved that number. Whether anyone was influenced by millions of dollars is a question mark to Democrats. They actually think that Trump worked with Russia because of a dossier purchased by Clinton, but they don't think that millions of dollars flowing into a foundation leads to any shady activity. If you're not stuffing money into Democratic pockets, literally stuffing $100 bills, they don't see anything. They don't see anything. And it's the funny thing is that if you flip the script and have Democrats, looking at Trump acting in behaving in the same way they're acting, there wouldn't be 1 second without constant President Trump's foundation got millions and millions from, and then something took place that was exactly what the Trump Foundation wanted, or what benefited President Trump. Then they're saying, well, his family benefited from the presidency. How did his family benefit? I want to know how his family benefited from the presidency. How on earth are they making money from constant negative media attention, apoplectic media attention, negative vitriol, venom every 2 seconds? I don't know how are they making money? So Trump has increasing his lead in the polls in swing states, which is an important thing to understand. Swing states are important. Swing states, you need swing states, ladies and gentlemen, to win the Electoral College. If you do not have swing states, then you cannot win the Electoral College. And then when they lose again, because they're not very good at politics, Democrats, when they lose again, they're going to blame everything under the sun. They're going to blame every single thing under the sun. But they're going to lose. They don't have, they don't understand, they're clueless. Because they're not very good at. They're clueless at, the meaning of enthusiasm. Even within polls that make no sense, that say that Biden's up by 1 million points, there's all this enthusiasm for President Trump. Actually, there's a fantastic article I'm going to read you. Here. It's an article. Okay, so by a columnist named Dwight Weidman, and it's really, really interesting. All right, so all right, hold on 1 second. All right, so it's really interesting. Check it out. Polls showing Biden beating Trump don't add up. And I've been saying this for a long time. Okay, just as in 2016, when Clinton, most of media polls are giving Biden a double-digit lead on President Trump. Last week, a Wall Street Journal NBC poll gave Biden a 14-point lead over President. Sounds bad, but remember that this very same poll gave Hillary Clinton the same big lead over Donald Trump exactly 4 years ago, and we all know what happened on Election Day. The Wall Street Journal NBC News poll is not alone. If you look at Real Clear Politics average of the national polls, it is solid blue, with most of media polls giving Biden a double-digit lead. There are other polls that show the race as being tight, such as John Zogby Strategies, EMI Research Solutions, Sunday Express. Okay, Trafalgar also. So what is the difference? The polls that show Biden with huge leads oversample Democrats from 6 to 10 points. I've talked about this. They are literally sampling more Democrats than Republicans, and they're saying this is completely scientific. I've talked about this before. For one thing, and a few still sample registered versus likely voters. Of course, some did not release their internals or polling methodology. This is true, more so now than ever before. Like the CNN poll recently, you try to get the methodology, and it links to a third-party poll that they outsourced. So it links to a third-party poll they outsourced, a polling company they outsourced to help. J-Spot 51! The derangement is strong in some people. Exactly. It is. But check it out. So, in the words of late New York Yankees Hall of Famer Yogi Berra, it's deja vu all over again. It's true. Most legitimate state polls tell a different story, okay? And there you go. That's what I've been talking about. And with our Republican electoral college system, electoral college system, it is the states that count. State polls by the Trafalgar Group, which is the most accurate state pollster, which was the most accurate state pollster. The 2016 and 2018 elections are very favorable to the president and put him on a similar track to victory as he experienced 4 years ago. In 2016, Hillary Clinton ran huge popular vote margins in places like New York and California, but failed to capture critical swing states as Michigan, Florida, and Ohio. It's pretty easy to track this data by state. So a couple evenings ago, after getting tired of seeing photos of what all my Facebook friends had for dinner, I did a little analysis of my own. Using the that's why I don't have Facebook or Twitter. I just want to live like life without, showing people around the entire planet what I ate. Oh my God. Okay, using the state polls I had at hand, along with a little common sense, I figured out that President Trump had an almost certain lock on 28 states with 258 electoral votes, leaving him 12 shy of victory. That leaves 8 states that are now toss-up categories with a total of 74 electoral votes. The president has at least 50% chance or better of winning half of these, easily putting him over the top. So this is fantastic. It's true. It is true. And the most important part is Ohio and Florida. And I think Ohio and Florida is, I'm not sure if this gentleman is, he might be adding Ohio and Florida as the 74 electoral votes, but, well, actually, I think he added, I think the 258 is with the Ohio and Florida. The president has at least 50% chance. Okay, I posted my analysis on Facebook, and lo and behold, a publication today came out with a similar analysis showing the president with a floor of 259 and a total of 22 possible combinations to get to the magic 270. On the other hand, the same analysis had Biden with a lock of 191 and only 6 possible combinations to get to 270. Wow. This is a fantastic article by Dwight Weidman. Wow, excellent. Aside from the numbers, there are other factors that make President Trump re-election likely. New voter registration numbers are tilted heavily towards Republican side. In some cases, 2 to 1 or more. The Trump campaign is also knocking on a million doors a week, as opposed to the anemic Democratic ground game. Is like people. In the interest of safety. Remember. To vote for Democrats. November. Third. And it's like a loudspeaker 20 miles outside of town. While Biden is supposedly leading in Pennsylvania, their campaign suddenly announced they were starting a ground game here. Why do that if they're comfortably in the lead? Voter enthusiasm also goes to the GOP with the internal polls. With internal polls of the same polls that show Biden up 15, finding 91% of Trump supporters were certain they would vote this year, while only 67% of Biden supporters said the same. The Democrats are done. So why all the polls showing Biden up? Well, it gives Democrats a chance to claim they were cheated, just like they did in 2016. Yep, it's deja vu all over again. This is true. This is true. Tech epiphany! ACB vote before election, less mobilization for the... Exactly. The ACB vote is going to be like The ACB vote is going to be horrendous. Absolutely horrendous for Democrats. And this is a gentleman who lives in Green Township, Pennsylvania, Franklin County, Pennsylvania. Look, they got the House in the midterms because of the Mueller probe and because of promising Medicare for all. And this was despite a fantastic economy. But they lost the Senate, like I said they would. And there's no enthusiasm. Like the people who are... Most Americans do not go to dinner parties or functions or hobnob and socialize with Washington, D.C. journalists or New York journalists. Okay, journalists, like every industry, journalism, like every industry, has its own groupthink. They are supposed to reflect what's going on in society. There's the reality of the world, of the United States, and it filters through the sensibilities of very programmed and idealistic or people who are ideologues. Journalists in New York and journalists in D.C. and journalists everywhere have a certain view of life. They have a left-leaning view of life. They're not walking into a cafeteria with a Make America Great Again hat. That is not happening. That is simply not happening. You are not going to find anyone at the New York Times or the Washington Post who is going to walk into the cafeteria and say, this is my new Make America Great Again hat. Do you like it? Do you like my new red Make America Great Again shirt? They're not going to the New York socialite dinner party. That's why when you have like Rudy Giuliani's daughter, like they're not. Who do you think her friends are? Do you think her friends are all Trump supporters? They're all Democrats. And it's very difficult to, like most of the people I grew up with, most of my friends lean left or hardcore Democrats. I have friends who are Trump supporters, and or they're okay with Trump, but they don't talk about it because they know that like the apoplectic, seething, fuming, hysterical reaction from other people will be like too much to handle. So they just keep it on the down low. There are so many people in California who like President Trump, but if they put a sign up, it's game over. Someone's going to try to take it and get onto their property, and it's the same thing everywhere. Which is another thing too. Where did that warped mentality come where you can't stand seeing a Trump sign? I want to know, there's the pop psychologists, or the psychologist or psychiatrist, they're always like, 500 psychologists have tried to analyze Trump. It's like, well, why don't you focus on actual criminal behavior? It is a crime to go into another person's yard and rip up something they own. Anything. What is this phenomenon? And like YouTube has hilarious, like with the Benny Hill soundtrack. What is this phenomenon of people going into yards, or people like making a big deal about a Make America Great Again hat? I mean, there are videos of people even like, flipping a hat off of somebody. I mean, who does this? You would never find this. Even 10 years ago, you would never find this. Because, again, you have journalists and media that 80% of people blame media for the divide in this country. And there's not really a divide. The same amount of people, there's roughly the same amount of people who are going to vote Democrat and roughly the same amount of people who are going to vote Republican. Okay? The difference is that Democrats have convinced themselves that the laws of nature dictate that they should win. And when they lose, like, they're going to lose again. I don't know if they realize this. I don't even think the far left cares, because I was on the far left. Like, Bernie supporters don't care. They actually secretly, I can tell you, a great many want Democrats to lose. I can tell you I was there. I know the feeling. I can tell you a great many people on the left despise Democrats a lot more than they dislike President Trump. And there is zero enthusiasm. Like, if they're actually serious, which I don't think they are, I think a week before, a couple days before, I don't know how, but Clinton will take over because it's the only chance they have. There is zero reason for people to vote for Biden, especially in swing states, especially in the Rust Belt, because you're going to have, like, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He would have implemented that. That would have been horrendous. It's much better to have tariffs that might not always work in the short term than the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The TPP was there for Democrats to, it was supposedly created to combat China's economic strength. That doesn't, they wouldn't care about that. That's not what any country really cares about. Tariffs, people care. Yes, because it's immediate. But there's no enthusiasm, and people are disinfecting their ballots. Do you understand the level of lunacy? Do you understand the level of lunacy, ladies and gentlemen? They are disinfecting their ballots. They are disinfecting ballots. Here, I want to read you this. No need to disinfect your ballot, California officials say. This is hilarious. Their people are destroying their ballots, making them unreadable because they're spraying. Like, the media is like, he told you to inject Drano. Like, no, he didn't. And no Trump supporter ever, like, looked at the president and said, you know, I think I should do that. But Democrats California election officials tell voters not to disinfect mail-in ballots. If high alcohol content liquid is used, it can make the ballot unreadable. They're ruining a handful of Sacramento vote dropped off a ruined ballot because they had attempted to clean it with liquid sanitizer. They're putting liquid sanitizer on their ballots and expecting to win the election while not voting on election day because of they're going to, self-immolate or, combust into flames. This is the level of wisdom or common sense. And they pride themselves on being the most, like the most, intelligent and, like really knowledgeable people. Like, oh my God. Their entire lives are dedicated to Republicans are backwards. And oh my God, can you believe what this Republican did? I mean, really? I mean, you can't be serious. And it's like, you're the ones putting hand sanitizer. You're the ones putting hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. On hand sanitizer on ballots and expecting to win the election. So that's bizarre. That's very bizarre. John Galt, hello. Hello, John, hello. So, I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, they're so clueless, it's unbelievable. But see, again, it's about swing states. You cannot win. You cannot win the election without swing states. And I don't think they've learned from 2016. They learned nothing from 2016. This is the sad and also very frightening, because if they learn nothing from 2016, they might not learn anything from 2020. I mean, there's a chance that they might not learn anything from 2020, which would be really sad. Clam joke! If the Maroons want to disinfect their ballots, they only need to put them out in the sunlight for a half hour. Seriously. I mean, I think the chances of anybody getting anything from mail, clam joke, thank you. Yeah. See, it's just they trust media because media promotes their nonsense, like their biases. Media promotes exactly like what they want portrayed. Like the message, the narrative that they want. Trump is a horrible human being. He's a menace to democracy. He's a menace to the republic. He's a menace to the Constitution. He's a monster. He's the Grinch who stole Christmas. He's just a horrible, horrible human being. Oh my God. Oh my God, President Trump. And it's like, that's not the case. That is not the case. It's actually the opposite. Ice Cube is not going to work with somebody who is a supremacist. That is not going to happen. Mitchell Smith! You hit the nail on the head. Many are intelligent, but no sense of common sense. Exactly. There's no common sense. Mitchell Smith, thank you. They have no common sense because they think that they live in their own world. Clem, joke, Mitchell Smith, thank you. Same thing with the Second Amendment. They're like, well, there's no need for that because you always have the police. It's like, well, you want to defund the police, so. Only Democrats want to defund police while at the same time erasing the Second Amendment. They live in like they don't even, it's impossible for them to even imagine violent crime exists. Violent crime only exists if it's like linked to Trump. Which, like, there's a direct link between the left and $2 billion in property damage around $2 billion of property damage. So, but ladies and gentlemen, definitely be here tonight at 9 p.m. We have an amazing show. I'm going to continue on today is basically, I mean, you had the Post story that they have been trying to sweep under the rug. Oh my God, have they been trying to sweep that under the rug? And the opposite is taking place. You have the opposite taking place. People are now more interested in it. People are more interested in that story. So you have people who are now who might not be that interested in what's going on, wondering why media is just trying to sweep every single thing under the rug. KSNF! H.A., your baby quail journalist impression is forever imprinted in my brain. KSNF! KSNF, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, KSNF, thank you. I think I'll try to, I'll try to do it right now. KSNF, thank you. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you so very much for your support, KSNF, always. It's greatly appreciated. To my UK viewers, thank you. You are amazing, along with my Australian viewers and viewers in Canada and around the world. Thank you. Mexico, South Korea, I have Hong Kong. I have viewers everywhere, and I'm so Ivory Coast. I'm very, very Nepal. Very thankful. KSNF. This is how they ask Biden questions. Carl, thank you. Okay, this is how they ask Biden questions, okay? Okay, this is how they ask Biden questions. Oh, the baby quail. Oh, the baby, heck, a little baby quail. Oh, that one. Oh. Like a little, a Botox bee, Biden, a little baby quail. Oh, put a little syringe of milk in his little mouth. Oh, Biden, we're going to hold you to victory. We're going to slowly levitate you over the finish line. Oh, Biden, a little baby quail. KSNF. I'm trying to do it, but I'm trying to do it, but I don't know if I have it. Vice President, don't touch him. Don't touch the Biden. Go fly. Blap. KSNF, thank you. I've never seen, my late Steelers freak. Chuck Grassley, you stole my girl in 1934, Chuck. I got another thing coming. Dun, dun, dun. You like what we did to Kavanaugh? Don't think ACB will be okay. We have another thing coming for her, too. Oh, thank you, Josh Brenner. Yes, Josh Brenner. Grifter in Chief. That's a good one. Oh my God. Thank you, Josh, and everybody here. KSNF, thank you. It's, the Democrats have become parodies of themselves. I have to say, this is the most boring election, aside from aside from speaking to everyone here and doing my thing on YouTube with my amazing viewers, because this is what really interests me, like speaking to you. Even that's why I'm doing more of these than the uploads, in addition to the format. But I have an amazing time speaking to everyone here. KSNF, thank you. But Timothy, thank you. I want to thank you, Timothy. Oh, here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so very much. Timothy, thank you. I need to start like a voiceover thing. Ladies and gentlemen, be here. People, be here. I'm almost running out of steam. It's just speaking to you, everyone here, to my live streams. It's so awesome. It's so fun. But this election in general, that's why like Clinton needs to come on in, because I don't know what they're waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, be here at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. tonight. Be here. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. We're going to end a little bit early today, but we're approaching 1 hour. KSNF, thank you so very, very much. To my UK viewers, thank you so very much. To my Australian viewers, thank you always. To all my viewers, thank you. Viewers in Nepal, thank you so very much. People, I'll be back 9 p.m. tonight, okay? Be here at 9 p.m., everybody. God bless. Have a fantastic day. Eric, Luke, thank you. Paul Bartlett, thank you. I'll talk to you tonight at 9 p.m. Be here on this